Robert Fortnite Kennedy Jr. rose to the top of the Trump administration because I am going to make America healthy again. I'm going to remove all of your seed oils. I'm going to replace all of your chili flakes with ladybugs. I am going to hand deliver a bear carcass to everybody who lives in a 3 block radius of Manhattan. Of course, this isn't tied to RFK, but I'm making it about him because he is the Maha guy, the Make America Healthy Again guy. And ironically enough, the only good thing about RFK is that he understands that America is a deeply unhealthy country. But what sucks is that he has no fundamental understanding as to what makes America so unhealthy. Seed oils are not the problem. Highly processed food is the problem. Seed oils are not the problem. The lack of walkability and the sedentary lifestyles that Americans live is the problem. Now, here in the United States, the food is just a fucking it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Forever chemicals, PFAS, pesticides, all this shit. And now, courtesy of More Perfect Union, the EPA has approved 2 new pesticides with forever chemicals that will be used on food. The agency has also announced plans for 4 additional approvals. The approved pesticides will be used on vegetables such as romaine lettuce, broccoli, and potatoes. 3 exceedingly common vegetables in the United States of America that you can walk into the grocery store and have all year round and very rarely find a and very rarely find, like, a shortage of them. What's really insidious about this is obviously the forever chemicals they have. They linger in the soil, they linger in the food, they linger in your body. I read this article from they had to have been like a pro big agriculture because the way they justified this is by saying, and I could not believe what the fuck I was reading. They said that this is okay to do because the EPA only prevents pesticides that have 2 forever chemicals from being utilized. This pesticide only has 1, and we will get into this in a report from the Center of uh, Biodiversity, Center of Biological Diversity. They were like, it's actually okay because it doesn't meet the EPA's threshold. However, across the pond in Europe, the European Union, they have much stricter standards for this. If your pesticide has 1 PFAS in it, 1 forever chemical in it, you're not allowed to use it because it's going to linger. It is going to make someone increasingly unhealthy over the course of their lives. I did see another subsect of people online saying that, well, isn't the way to avoid this just to buy organic? And yeah, obviously, as someone, listen, I buy organic food, all right? I'm not ashamed of that. Food's already fucking expensive. I might as well pay the extra dollar to get it organic. But I'm privileged in that regard. Not everybody can afford organic food, and not everybody has accessibility to organic food. Moreover, healthy, clean food should be available to everybody. This inhibits that. The solution to this isn't to encourage people to buy organic. The solution to this is to make organic the standard. And if it's too expensive, quote unquote, for these corporations, I would rather you take my money, take my taxpayer dollars to subsidize the cost of high quality, nutritionally dense food. There's a trade off, right? There's an insidious trade off with how food operates in the United States of America. Corporations, like massive corporations, create highly processed, all of this highly processed slop that is entirely devoid of nutrition, and they sell it to you at a cheaper price. And listen, I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody because I still enjoy some highly processed slop. All right. I love Oreos. I love candy. I'm a big fan of sweets in general, and I treat myself to these things because I don't believe in limiting, like, a treat every now and then. But if that is all that your lifestyle includes, yes, you're going to pay less in food now, but you're going to pay more in medical costs later. It still falls on the government, however, to provide these highly nutritional options alongside the treats. That is what some people just don't understand with this. There should not be shit that can kill you in your food. I don't think that is a hot take. I think when we go to the store, we should know that the meat is not fucking tainted. We should know that that these animals have not been given steroids, and we should know that our vegetables are not covered in in fucking forever chemicals. I'm going to read this little blurb from the Center for Biological Diversity. The EPA today approved the highly persistent pesticide isocyclosaram. I hate science. I hate science. That's why I cover politics, because it is a soft science. It's a not real science. Isocyclosaram for golf courses, lawns, and food crops such as oranges, tomatoes, almonds, peas, and oats. The pesticide is a, quote, forever chemical, one of a group called PFAS, or I'm not even going to fucking try to say these words. Today's announcement marks the second approval of a PFAS pesticide since Trump took office, with the first approval coming just 2 weeks before. The administration plans to approve 3 more PFAS pesticides in the coming year. Listen up, liberal. We're poisoning your food because we got paid $60 billion or whatever the fuck it was to do so. Robert Reich posted about it. And yes, the agriculture lobbies are lobbying to do this because it's cheaper for them. Quote, to approve more PFAS pesticides amid the growing awareness of the serious long-term dangers of these forever chemicals is absurdly short-sighted, said Nathan Donnelly, Environmental Health Science Director at the Center for Biological Diversity. Quote, the undeniable reality is that the Trump administration is knowingly putting the nation's children at greater risk of developing serious reproductive and liver harms for generations to come. Isocyclosaram is classified as moderately persistent to persistent and is known to transform into 40 similar PFAS, some of which are much more highly persistent. Among the most concerning harms from isocyclosaram is reduced testicle size, lower sperm count, and liver toxicity. While the agency found that people would not be exposed to enough isocyclosaram in their diet to cause these harms, it opted not to implement a child safety buffer to account for the fact that children are more sensitive to chemical pollutants than adults. Pro-life party, by the way. The Republicans are going to force you to have a baby and then are going to poison that fucking baby. If the safety buffer were included, as it is with some other pesticides, young children would have been found to be at high risk of those effects from daily exposure. Quote, for all the rhetoric about caring about children's health and well-being, the administration is quick to throw them under the bus whenever it suits their polluting benefactors, said Donnelly. Instead of erring on the side of safety, we get a quick, reckless approval of a new forever chemical without any real thought given to its serious harms. Isocyclosaram is also very toxic to bees and other pollinators, with the EPA finding that vital pollinators could be exposed to 1,500 times the lethal level of the pesticide just by collecting nectar and pollen near treated fields. 1 out of every 3 foods we eat, nearly all nutrient-dense foods like fruits and vegetables, come from plants that need to be pollinated by bees and other polluting animals. I know some people who are like, dog, the government's poisoning us. And I just want to ask them, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll rage bait my family on Thanksgiving just for fun. If you think the government is poisoning you, who is the government? Like, who is in the government right now? And just see what they say. Is it Biden? Did Joe Biden sneak into the Oval Office and approve this measure? No, it's fucking Donald Trump. In a 2024 report from researchers at the Center for Biological Diversity, Environmental Working Group, and Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility found that forever chemicals are being increasingly added to U.S. pesticide products, contaminating waterways and posing potential threats to human health. It's so fucked. It's so fucked. And guess what, guys? This is capitalism's fault. Socialism doesn't do this. Capitalism does. While some PFAS differ in their toxicity's potential to bioaccumulate and potentially pollute water, all are highly persistent and have chemical bonds that essentially never break down. PFAS ingredients in pesticide products have been found to contaminate streams and rivers throughout the country. As a push to approve PFAS pesticides, the EPA created a new website earlier this month to try to assure the public of its, quote, robust chemical specific process that it uses to approve any pesticide, even one that is a PFAS. This is a bold new push from the EPA as it comes directly from the recent Make America Healthy Again strategy report, following pressure from the pesticide industry. What an insidious sentence. The report shifted its focus from highlighting pesticide harms to directing the EPA to convince the public of its, quote, robust review procedures for pesticides. As I mentioned before, the EPA approval process for pesticides allows these companies to include up to 2 PFAS before they're not allowed to manufacture that pesticide. 1 PFAS is too many. But if you put 1 PFAS in your pesticide, the EPA is going to say, okay, it's only one. It's only one, bro. How bad could it be? I wish that there was this same level of fervor as there was when marijuana, as there was against marijuana in the 2000s. I remember seeing commercials, and if you're old like me, I know you'll remember that anti-weed commercial where the girl was sitting on the couch all deflated because she smoked 1 joint, and her dog was trying to get her to play with her, and she couldn't because she smoked 1 weed, bro. She did weed 1 time. Pesticides are infinitely worse for you than marijuana is, I would argue. And the government is saying, oh, 1 forever chemical, that's fine. That's fine. 2 is too many. 1 is just right. 1 is the Goldilocks of PFAS. As always, thank you guys so very much for coming to hang out. Everything I'm associated with is linked down below. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed any of the content. Both of those help out tremendously with the algorithm. If you're listening to this on Spotify, follow the show and leave a rating over there. As well as always, stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you in the next one.